Dr. Dave here from Shore's Wellness Solutions, just falling into place. And welcome to our office. I'm here with my lovely wife,
Amy. Hi guys,
Awesome.
How are you?
Introduce yourself. Fantastic. And so this is a great workshop today, the art of meal prepping that Amy has put together. And so I'm excited to learn and find out and participate. So take it away, babe.
Oh, well, we're going to talk a little bit about the art of meal prepping and why it's important. If you plan ahead, you have much more success in eating well, right? Getting a good diet in and saving a lot of time and money as well. So if you have any questions when we're going through this workshop today, just put your questions in the comments below, and when we're finished, we'll answer all of your questions and we'll get back to you real quickly. So let's get started today. How do you meal prep?
I tell you what I would like to eat when you ask, and you prepare it.
Oh, yes. Or I prep for it, and I let you put it on the grill, right?
That's true.
All right, we could do a lot of those things. So there's a lot of benefits for meal prepping, all right? We could do a lot of things with that, right?
Yes,
No?
you can.
All right. The concept is to make more meals at one time, so you're limiting the number of times you have to cook throughout the week. Makes life a lot easier if you plan that way. You can store your meals in different ways: sandwich bags, freezer bags, snack bags, Tupperware, all kinds of things. So you can have it already ready for you, so you're not grabbing random things and popping it in your mouth.
So like in prepping, if you're going to have, say, 2 or 3 meals with celery, just to pick that. If you don't like celery, pick something else. But anyway, if you're going to have 2 or 3 meals with that, just chop it all up once rather than each time.
Exactly. So some of the benefits include more free time.
I love free time. It's the one commodity you can never get back.
A smaller food bill. Health. Oh, go.
Smaller food bill because you're choosing what you're going to eat and you have it planned, as opposed to just kind of grazing and emptying the fridge.
Yep.
Okay.
Healthier choices because you already have all those healthy vegetables cut up and ready for you.
And good lean proteins.
Of course. And it helps with weight management as well.
Oh, we're going to find out why.
All right. Well, let's do that. Oh, hold on one second. So I'm having
We're
technical
experiencing technical difficulties.
difficulties.
Please stand by.
All right.
There you go.
So,
Time.
Yeah, we talked about time. Anyhow, so by meal prepping, you're going to save a lot of time by getting things done ahead of time.
Life does not pause just because you're in the kitchen.
No, it does not. No, it doesn't. Oh, what
I
would
think
you...
a lot of people have learned a lot about their kitchens over the last 8 weeks.
They have?
Yeah, sure, because
everyone's
they're
in
stuck
there.
at home, yeah.
I find that most people, though, are baking, I think, instead of doing all the meal prep.
Oh.
Right? So we want to make sure we're doing some healthy choices here. We're going to talk a little more about that right now. So when you pick a day to dedicate your time to shopping and cooking, and you take one whole day to do that, you have the rest of your week in order to do more things that you'd like to do. And you're not having to take all that time to think about what you're going to do. So it's one thing that's a pretty good reason to meal prep.
Okay. So until this pandemic, Americans were spending considerably more time and money in restaurants, and they didn't really buy groceries. But now, even when utilizing coupons on daily specials, it could still be pretty expensive going to restaurants. Right now with the pandemic, what are we doing? We're going to grocery stores. So we're buying the raw goods instead of the finished goods. And so we're cooking and preparing at home. But if you buy in bulk, it's going to save you a significant amount of money off your food expenses. But be careful what you buy in bulk, because you don't want to go and buy things in bulk that are going to spoil.
Right.
So you make sure the things that you're buying in bulk are things that will last for a while.
Yeah, you want to make sure you're getting your staples. You can do olive oil, brown rice, dried beans. Check for those things when they're on sale and get those in bulk so you can make those into all of your meal prepping recipes.
Right.
I don't know why that doesn't work for me. It's not
Because
cooking.
you got to leave it right there.
All right. So while we're grocery shopping, did you know that they say grocery shopping you should never do when you're hungry? Why? Because we buy a bunch of junk and a lot more food that
you
we
buy
don't
a
need.
lot of seafood.
Seafood?
Yeah, as you see food, you buy it.
Oh, well.
Uh-huh.
You should be buying seafood. But
Yeah, right. Buy the SEA food.
Well, without a plan for your week, you're more likely to make impulse purchases that you otherwise wouldn't have. So don't forget, the food industry has very powerful marketing campaigns. So when you go to the grocery store without a list, it leaves you more susceptible to falling for the ploys that they use. It's really important to take a list with you so you're getting all the things that you need, and then you can and then you can prep everything for what you need, and you've covered everything for the entire week.
Right. I mean, if you don't believe that food companies have powerful marketing campaigns, just look at the cereal aisle. Right? The cereal aisle is basically just diabetes in a box. And they tell you how great their cereal is one versus the next. And it's not. None of it. It's just horrible for you. Or you look at like what they do for kids, like, ooh, gummy bites, those chewy vitamins. But they don't supply any nutrition, and there's sugar in there, which depletes your body of essential B vitamins. And so, you're buying these things that really don't have the nutritional value, but you think they do because that's what the marketing tells you.
Yes, it does.
It's kind of like, low fat. If you buy something that says no trans fat, right? They're right. It's not 0, but it's below a certain amount. But if you have 2 servings of that product, you're now up above, what is considered 0. And 0 is not 0 when it comes to food shopping.
Right. Well, the current standard diet of most Americans is compiled mostly of processed foods or food-like substances. That's not really food at all. All right, so we want to make sure that we're not having all of that junk food and we're getting the nutrients in our body that we need. It takes a lot of time and energy to cook the meals every single day. So by meal prepping, you can have it in bulk. You're taking one day to do all of that, and now you have great healthy meals for the rest of the day without having to think about it.
Do you know that the head of the FDA back in 1912 got ousted? Because for a couple of years he would commandeer train cars loaded with white flour and destroy them.
I did not know that.
See that? That was Robert Wiley. And so he got ousted by corporations because he was destroying their product that they were trying to sell. And now look at the standard American diet. It's loaded with white flour.
Right? Well, by meal prepping too, you're going to have way healthier choices that you're going to be able to consume. You slide that up.
Right there.
All right. So another benefit of meal prepping is weight control. Meal prepping has gained a lot of exposure in the health field, often using bodybuilders and fitness superstars. However, it's not limiting to only those focused on their physique, as it simply makes sense.
I can remember.
What can you remember?
You talk about a guy, or Bruce Jenner.
Oh.
He was a decathlete, so like one of the best athletes in the world on the Wheaties box. So everybody wanted Wheaties because, Bruce Jenner had Wheaties. But they're not good for you.
No, definitely not. So unless you're weighing your food at every meal, it's likely that you're eating way more than you need. So preparing your food ahead of time helps you have portion control as well. So, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the average American has experienced a 23% increase in daily calories between the years 1970 and 2008. That's over 500 more calories a day. So, if you add 500 more calories a day, it won't take long before your weight starts creeping up more and more and more and more and more, which we don't want.
It's about 26 pounds per American of extra body fat.
Wow, that's crazy. So aside from that, it's not necessarily accurate to listen for when your body says you're full. While this is appropriate for some, most people are not metabolically stable. That means that they don't always know when they're full.
That's right.
And they keep eating more than they actually need. We think that we need more than we actually do.
And that leads to weight gain, leads to malnourishment, right? We are the most overfed nation in the world.
And the most undernourished.
And undernourished, right. It'll lead to poor sleep, inflammatory conditions. So we get all these things from eating, food-like substances that isn't food.
So it's going to help maintain your weight. All right, brain food. Let's talk about this. This is something that you may or may not know, right? Research has been proved that the strain on our brain is from making too many decisions. right? So we're overstimulated with too many choices and our brains get exhausted trying to keep up. Behavioral psychologists also have found that focus specifically on the concept of willpower, which is explained in the work like a muscle, right?
Okay.
So when you do that, basically it's saying to you that, oh, I have willpower, I'm not going to eat this or whatever. But when you have too many decisions to make, your brain overrides that and the willpower doesn't work because then you're like, screw it, I'm just going to eat all this stuff.
Right. You're going to basically break down.
So this explains why so many people splurge on junk food late at night, because the willpower has been exhausted. So by the end of the day, you're like doing good,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, oh my gosh, just give me that bag of chips or whatever. So we want to make sure.
Way.
Well, I don't do that, but a lot of people do that.
But right. Because they're done making decisions, and it's just what do I have in my line of sight?
Right.
And they don't want the decision, or they've made the decision is I'm not going to prepare anything now because they haven't prepped.
Yep.
That was cute.
What?
According to the American Chemistry Council survey, try that again. According to the American Chemistry Council survey, try and say that 10 times fast.
Oh my gosh, no.
The average United States household throws away about $640 of food per year. I bet it's more than that.
You think?
Yeah, I bet it is. Because that would be roughly, about $13, $14 of food a week. But I bet most
I
households
would think more.
throw away more than that. But more than half of all households throw out food every week, and it's very concerning. Fortunately, with planning your meals, that will help you eliminate or prevent the excess food waste.
Right? I don't understand why it will click. Sorry, guys. My clicker is not working
That's
today.
That's great. So the art of meal planning often takes you out of your comfort zone when it comes to eating. It's easier to find a couple of stable recipes and not stray far from them. But common ones should include burgers. Yes?
Pasta.
I can't say it.
I know. That's what most people say and do.
I know.
That's what they want. That's the most common staples that people have. But we're going to teach you some meal prep today that is not going to contain pasta at all.
Cool.
Ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Let's do
let's
this
go.
now. Let's get into the meat and
All
potatoes.
right. Now we're going to get to the fun stuff. Let's
All right.
get started with meal prep, all right? So this is what you're going to get bleh. This is what you're going to do to get
This
started
is what you're going
today.
to do, okay? Just listen.
On the struggle bus today.
Yeah.
Goodness grief. So first you're going to start out taking inventory of what food you currently have.
That's right.
Look up some fun recipes that you want to try.
Mm-hmm.
Make a grocery list so you can get the ingredients that you need for the entire week,
Mm-hmm.
right? Once you get home, now you're going to store all the food that you're going to cook now and then the food that you're going to cook later. You want to wash and prep all of your fruits and vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Place them in containers that you can store in the fridge. And we said,
And don't leave them in plastic bags.
don't leave them in plastic bags.
No.
Why?
Because they'll rot quicker.
They'll rot quicker.
The fruits and vegetables.
They will. How are you going to meal prep if you don't put them in a bag?
In the fridge?
Yeah. Where are you going to put them?
Well, no, in the fridge, but you don't want to leave them in a bag. You want to wrap them in a paper towel or something that's going to absorb the moisture.
That's
Because if you leave
wasn't
it
what
in
I was teaching
oh,
today, actually, because then you want to have it so you can grab and go, right?
right, but then you've already prepped the vegetable so that it's in a container.
You
that
can put it in
grab.
a container as well. I do put mine in a Ziploc bag, and I don't
No,
have
not a
any
Ziploc,
issues.
like the plastic bags that you get from the store, like when you grab the cilantro.
Ah, okay. Now I know what you're talking. Okay,
So
here we go.
when you
Let's
grab the cilantro bunch and you leave it in the plastic bag from the store,
Okay.
like 2 days later, it's already rotten.
right,
But you taught me that if I take it out and put it in a paper towel, I can get a week out of it.
yes, but I had no clue what you were just talking about right now.
I gathered that.
All right, so let me just explain. Let me explain real
No,
quick
well,
what
let's
he's
just
talking
summarize
about.
this quicker.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So what Dr. Dave here is talking about is I've always told him when you buy your vegetables, don't keep, how you put it in the plastic bag and
At
when
the
you get
store.
it. Yeah, like anything you put it in,
Mhm.
and then you store it in the refrigerator that way. You don't want to do that because usually at the grocery store they have the water spraying and misting on it, and so it's wet and it's damp, and so it gets all moldy. So I have an issue doing that. When we're meal prepping, what you're going to be doing is taking it out of that plastic bag, washing everything, drying it really well, and then you can store it in Ziploc bags or things and your plastic containers, because it's going to be fresh and you don't have all the wet moisture and all of that kind of thing. So now we're on the right page of what we're doing. All right.
Awesome.
Let's get going. So now you're going to cook enough meat for 3 to 4 days. Place it in individual containers so you have it ready for each meal, for your salads, for your meals as well. And you want to label everything. So let's get started to some of the recipes that we can talk about for meal prep.
All right. I believe the first couple recipes are some of my favorites.
This one's your favorite. So
eggs are a staple to many people's breakfast, but they're usually ordered like in a diner, cooked on weekends when everybody's home, and so you forget about them during the week. So people grab white trash: bread, pasta, cereal, biscuits, muffins, pancakes, waffles, donuts, bagels, cookies. I know people that do. Anyway, so you want to stay away from that. You want to get to the eggs. So there are many ways to prep eggs, and people don't realize that. They think, oh, I'm tired of scrambled egg. I'm tired of the fried egg. Well, okay. How about you do something different? So here's a couple things. You got the classic boiled egg.
Hard-boiled egg is a great one to have on hand. And boil that, do that at the beginning of every week, so you have eggs, you can put in your salads. You can just pop one out and eat it throughout the day. It's a great little snack to have.
A little hot sauce with it.
If you want hot sauce with it. But make sure you keep the shells on because they last longer. So if you peel all of them ahead of time, they're going to go bad a lot quicker. So keep the shells on until you're ready to use them. And here's another, we're going to give a really good fun recipe that you can do for breakfast that's a healthy option.
Egg muffin.
And not a muffin like you're thinking with the bread or anything like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to chop whatever vegetables that you want to put in your egg muffins. All right, onion, potato, tomato, spinach, mushroom, bell pepper, whatever it is you're wanting. You're going to distribute the vegetables evenly in muffin tins. So put them all in all their muffin tins.
Or unevenly, and then each day you have a surprise of which one has more.
I guess if you want a surprise. Then you're going to whisk your eggs together in a separate bowl, pour it into the muffin tins, and then you can top with your choice of cheese or bacon.
Both.
I would do both.
Okay.
So put that in there, and then you're going to bake it in the oven at 350 for 20 to 25 minutes. Once you allow these to cool, pop them out, and you can store them in your refrigerator for up to 5 days, or you can put them in the freezer also. And now you have it when you want to pull it out, and then you have a nice little breakfast that you can pop in your mouth whenever you want.
Or you can eat them all that day.
Well,
but then
I wouldn't, because then you're not going to have weight management, which we talked about.
That's right.
All right, so here's my favorite, and we've always talked about.
And you did a workshop on this 2 weeks ago.
We did. Smoothies.
Yep.
That's a great way to meal prep for another breakfast option. So all you have to do is pick up a couple of your favorite fruits and greens that you love, chop them up, put them in freezer bags until you're ready to blend them. So now you can make your own pre-packaged smoothie recipes, and you can do all different kinds. So get all your fruits and greens. Make sure you're throwing your greens in too.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying pre-chop them, throw them in a freezer bag, and throw it in the freezer. So all you have to do is take the bag out, dump the contents into the blender, add your protein mix, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Add your protein powder, yeah.
Smart. So you're not chopping fruits and veggies
every day. You don't have to pull it out. Just have your bags already ready. You can even have the greens in there, and that way you're ready to go. Just throw it in there, throw some water in, or an almond milk or something like that if you like that type of flavor, coconut water, whatever you want. Your liquid, and you're ready to go.
So what are some of your favorite combinations?
Well, you could do spinach, peach and blackberry, kale, strawberry and banana, avocado, blueberry and kiwi.
Okay.
So you want to throw that in. And avocado is really great because it gives you a lot of good fats. And it also
makes it kind of smooth and creamy.
It gives it people are like, ooh, avocado in there. It actually makes it really creamy. It's very good. Beets are good also. really good because they're very sweet.
They sometimes will make it a little grainy, so beets with avocado just superb.
Blends it up. Yeah, that's great. So here's another way that you can meal prep as well. You can use a mason jar, right? And we're going to make a whole bunch of salad recipes. There's a ton of different options that you can do with a mason jar. All right, so you're going to basically, I always stock up on those, and it's an easy way because then you can just grab the jar and take it with you wherever you go, and you always have a salad ready, and you can have all different types of options. So what you're going to do is you're going to layer everything in your mason jar. So you always want to start with your dressing on the bottom, then the thick or the hard vegetables, like cabbage, carrots, tomato, then
kale.
Kale.
Sure, because if you put the kale on the bottom, when it's touching the dressing, it'll soften up for when you go to eat it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, normally you're going to put your lettuce up at the top, but kale's definitely a little bit more tough, so that's something you're going to want to put down a little bit more. Then you're going to add the softer vegetables and your beans, and then always end with your greens on the very top of it. So here's a couple ideas that are really great. All right, so remember the ingredients are from the bottom to the top. So you're going to want to make sure, here's one, you can do hummus, red onion, carrots, chickpeas, quinoa, and mixed greens.
That sounds good.
I know. I'm hungry.
hungry.
I'm hungry right now too. I can't wait to go get
I like balsamic dressing.
Yeah.
So I'd put that on the bottom and then add some apples because now the dressing will preserve the apple so it doesn't rot. Then you go feta cheese, mixed greens, and pecans.
Yeah.
And a lot of pecans because I like pecans.
Here's another one. Avocado dressing, tomatoes, chickpeas, quinoa, mixed greens. And you can tell, like, I like to take quinoa. That's another thing that's a great option to do a big container of quinoa because you can put it in so many recipes, like your salads. You can use it for breakfast. I always make that ahead of time for the week because you can do, like I said, the salads like this. But you can also do a big quinoa salad bowl also, which is great. And quinoa is good for breakfast too.
Yes, it is.
I like to put a little
you like putting berries on it.
butter, cinnamon, and fresh berries on the top. So it's a great way to do that.
Good.
Any other combinations that you like?
Oh, there's a million.
The possibilities are endless with the mason jars, and you can have all kinds of different salads, so it isn't boring, and you can just
and if you go through the produce section of the grocery store, you just grab a bunch of things, and when you go home, you just lay out your jars, chop them up, and fill 3-4 jars. You got a couple of days of recipes ready to go.
Yeah, it's a good option too to try different vegetables that you haven't tried before, because you can pop them in the salads and kind of see what you like and what you don't like.
I like them all.
I know.
Almost.
All right, so that's a couple of our meal prepping options that we have. If you're looking for any more recipes or you're wanting some other ideas of things, make sure you send us a message or put a message in the comments below, and we'd be happy to give you some more meal prepping ideas and recipes, right?
That is correct.
All right.
Most importantly,
What?
keep it simple.
All right, well, let's do that. Even if you're not ready to go all out next Sunday, here are some simple changes that you can add to your routine now.
Double up on dinners so that you'll have leftovers for the next day.
Yep. Begin to chop up your produce in batches as soon as you get home. So when you get home, make sure you just, plan your grocery shopping for the time when you want to come home. You're going to chop all your vegetables up. If you really start planning ahead and doing that, it makes it so much easier. That way, even if you decide you wanted to cook dinner that day, you already have your vegetables chopped up. You throw it all together, it's real quick and easy.
Start buying some staple items such as pseudo grains like your quinoa, wild rice. You could also use beans, potatoes. Those are some good staples because they're going to last a while, so get those in bulk.
Yep. And you want to make a large soup or stew. Those are great options because you can throw tons of vegetables in there, and you can create enough throughout the day, or throughout so it'll last you for the week. Oh my goodness, am I on the struggle bus today?
Yeah.
And same like I told you before, when you cook your grains all at once, quinoa, brown rice, things like that, now you have something to throw in.
Right.
With
And if you're
going to
have quinoa, say 3 times a week or 4 times in the week, cook it all at once and portion it out and put it in the fridge. This way you're not cooking it again.
Yep, makes it easier so you're not doing that. So there's a lot of benefits by meal prepping.
Yeah, and there's many different ways that you can incorporate a little bit of prepping into your daily routine and weekly routine.
Who's going to start meal prepping? Give me a high five!
Oh, me.
Yeah, post that in the comments. Let us know who is looking forward to meal prepping and making their life a little easier. And right now we're all stuck at home. So we have no reason why we can't meal prep and have everything ready so you don't have to cook all day.
Well, I have a great reason why you should.
Okay.
So first off, being stuck at home, take the opportunity to develop that habit. But secondly...
Make it easier when you're back to work.
Exactly. But secondly, if we look outside, sun is starting to shine through, so we're going to get warmer days. So if you take time to meal prep now, you'll get more time outside in the next few weeks.
Which will be super nice. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I hope you learned something and enjoyed learning a little bit about the art of meal prep, right? Yeah, we're really glad that you were here. Thank you. We hope that you enjoyed it, and we hope you're all out meal prepping so you have time to be out and enjoying this wonderful weather.
It's gorgeous.
All right.
Get some sunshine.
Yep.
Stay well hydrated.
Yep. And if you have any further questions or you want more recipes, just post your questions below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, thanks. And
I'm Dr. Dave from Shores Wellness Solutions, along with my beautiful wife, Amy. And we want to be your inspiration
for healthy living. Bye, guys.